Imagine this. You're a government employee. You work hard, follow every rule, and on weekends, you sit in front of a camera just to share your thoughts. It may be about books, about law, maybe about cooking. Now imagine one morning a notice lands on your desk, a single line that reads, "Your YouTube activity violates service conduct rules." Just like that, years of honest service questioned. For what? For speaking, for creating, for expressing. So here's the real question. Can government employees run a YouTube channel in India? Or does that simple act cross an invisible line? Let me tell you about a story about Arjun. Well, not his real name. An assistant engineer in a state department, passionate about technology. Well, during the pandemic, he started a small YouTube channel explaining how basic apps and devices could make your daily office work easier. Please note, he didn't monetize it. No political talk, no criticism of government policies, just pure, useful knowledge. But one day, a colleague reported him conflict of interest, the letter said. He was asked to take down his videos. That day, he told me something I can't forget. He said, "I thought I was educating people. Turns out I was breaking a rule I didn't even know existed." And that is where our story begins. Now, here is what the law says, plain and simple. Every government employee in India is bound by the Central Civil Services Conduct Rules of 1964 or their state equivalents. Two key provisions that matter most are Rule 9. It prohibits employees from engaging in any trade, business or outside employment without prior permission. Then there is Rule 15. It restricts taking part in the management of any business, directly or indirectly. So, if your YouTube channel is monetized, that's business. Even if you don't intend it that way, you're technically earning from an external source, or that's a trade. Now, you might say, but what if I'm not earning? Fair question, right? If your channel is purely educational, non-political and non-commercial, most departments don't interfere. But if your content criticizes government policy, promotes products or creates a personal brand, that affects neutrality. That's where the problem begins. So let's look at a few examples. In S. Ramesh versus State of Tamil Nadu in the year 2022, a teacher was suspended for posting political commentary videos. The court upheld the action, saying public servants must maintain political neutrality. In another instance, a Delhi police constable was penalized for creating entertainment videos in uniform. Even though those videos were harmless, he received a notice because they lowered the dignity of the service. You see, the line isn't always written, but it's very real. The government doesn't just see itself as an employer, it's the custodian of public trust. And YouTube, for all its creativity, is still a public platform. So, it is not only what you say, it is how it is perceived. But think about this. In a world where everyone has a voice, should public servants be silent? Aren't they citizens too? With dreams, opinions, creativity. Should serving the government mean surrendering your individuality? That's the real tension here. The fight between expression and obligation. The law says neutrality is sacred, but life says expression is human. One officer once told me, we spend our careers serving the public. Yet, the moment we share an idea publicly, we are told it's inappropriate. It's ironic, isn't it? The same system that promotes digital literacy discourages digital presence. And yet, I understand why this rule exists. Because imagine this, a public officer speaks on sensitive issues, unintentionally influences public opinion, and reveals internal details. That's where ethics meet consequences. So the question isn't just, can government employees run YouTube channels? It's really, or should they? Or how should they? If you're a government employee or you know someone who is, here's what they need to keep in mind. First, check your conduct rules, either the CCS conduct rules or your state's equivalent. Pay special attention to Rule 9 and Rule 15 that we have discussed before. Point number 2. If you plan to monetize, always seek permission from your department. Third, avoid political content or anything that criticizes the government or its functioning. Point number 4. Never disclose internal information, even casually. 5. Keep your content educational, motivational, and skill based. You can talk about your field, just not your office. Inspire, don't interfere. Remember, transparency is protection. If you're honest and upfront, you're far less likely to face trouble later. And above all, know this, the law isn't your enemy. It's just reminding you to balance freedom with responsibility. Now, back to Arjun. After a few months of uncertainty, he decided to formally write to his department, explaining the purpose of his channel. A few weeks later, he received a reply. Permission granted, subject to conditions. He still uploads videos. No ads, no endorsement, no policy talk. Just knowledge shared humbly. He told me last year, the law didn't silence me. It just asked me to be careful with my voice. And that's the most powerful takeaway. Sometimes law isn't about stopping us. It's about shaping how we speak, so our words never lose its meaning. So, if this video made you see the law differently, if it made you to realize how thin that line between duty and expression really is, search for Jerry Joseph Legal Counsel. You'll find stories that don't just explain the law. They remind you that behind every rule, there's a human trying to do the right thing. Because in the end, the law isn't about silence. It's about balance. And maybe that's the story worth sharing. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye.